Welcome to another staff tutorial. In this video, we're going to be covering the conveyor belt. It's an amazing move for contact staff that is great for beginners, and it has a name. It's called the conveyor belt. So instead of things like hand wrap or neck wrap, this one actually has a cool name to it. All right, so we covered wraps in a previous video. This is just a series of 4 wraps. The standard conveyor belt is a 4-point pivot or 4-point wrap, and it goes over elbow, wrist, wrist, elbow, catch. But there's a whole lot of variations to go through, so we're going to show you them all. All right, so starting with the conveyor belt, the first thing you're doing is an elbow wrap. So that's the very first step. Find the center of your staff, put it on your elbow. Actually, first off, you want to grab your opposite arm, your opposite shoulder, and make sure you have a flat surface right there, then put the center of the staff on it. You don't want it to be way down on the tip of the elbow. You want to make sure it's nice and has a little bit of both your forearm and your bicep. That's covering both. And then grab it right where it touches your wrist. That's where you want to wrap under. Go all the way around. I see a lot of people, they want to let go down here or somewhere further away. You want to get as close to the point that you're letting go as possible. So wrap all the way under and just let it go over and catch. That's a great place to start with. All right, the magic of this move happens when you straighten the arm. That's all this arm is doing, is going from grabbing my opposite shoulder and straightening straight out, palm facing the ground the whole time. Isn't that beautiful? So the way this works is you've got to let the staff come all the way over and actually make contact with your forearm about to fall off, and then you push out and it does another wrap around your arm while kind of spiraling down to end up in your palm of your hand. You want to keep the palm of your hand facing the ground. That's how you make this move look clean and beautiful, and just let the staff come all the way to your palm. Fight the urge to twist and grab it. I see a lot of people like try to grab it early, doesn't look as smooth. Or the other common mistake is people open up too soon, and then it just does an arm wrap. Basically all I'm doing is touching my shoulder real quick in between doing an arm wrap. So you let it hit the forearm, push out, grab it with this palm of your hand facing down. Great. From there, you transfer it to the other hand and you just do the move in reverse. So it goes elbow, wrist, transfer to the other hand, wrist, elbow. For whatever reason, this wrist elbow, the reverse of the move, is much more difficult. So give yourself a little bit of patience and practice, and eventually you'll get it down. The other thing to think about is if you can do this first half, try that again. Try it nice and slow and think about it, and then just do that in reverse. So as I'm walking it through, use your free hand, step it here, out, step it down, go in reverse, step it here. As soon as it's folding over kind of towards my pinky, I pull back in and fold it back to that elbow, and then it falls off. So elbow, wrist, wrist, elbow, catch. With all of these points, it's kind of nice to give it a little bit of a padding. I talked about this in an earlier video where instead of like coming up hard and catching it, you want to kind of pad that drop. So I pad on, pad, pad. And you can see I kind of bounce up and down every time that makes a contact point with a different part of my arm. You can do this one really slow. That's the beautiful thing about staff spinning in general, is you don't have to go super fast, but you want to have enough momentum that you follow through. But you can do this super slow, each step of the way, very slow. So don't feel like you need to speed through it to make it work. Okay, so with that reverse again, let's talk about that guy. We got our elbow wrist and we've caught it. That wrist elbow, you want to do a wrist wrap. So make sure you have these down nice and solid. And as soon as it hits the back of your wrist there, what you're doing is it's falling off. So you want to wait for it to come off of that pinky right there, and you're folding in to let it land right there. So think about this motion right there. It's on my wrist, it's on my elbow. It's on my wrist, it's on my elbow. And use your free hand to kind of walk yourself through these steps so you mentally know where that staff is going before you add the momentum and complete the move. So back of the wrist, I kind of brace it by moving my hand down a little bit. So down a little bit, up, and drop it onto my elbow. And I'm waiting for it to kind of come, not falling off my hand, but has the momentum to come off, to fold in, to get it to right there. So wait for it to drop in, boom. All right, so that is the most difficult part of it, is that pulling from the wrist all the way into that elbow there. From there, there's a lot of ways to pass off in the middle or catch it at the end. And let's go over those now. So the most basic version I know is going elbow, wrist, catch, pass off, wrist, elbow, free hand, catches it right there. And you completed the move. But the thing is, now I've caught it with my opposite hand, my left hand, where I started it with my right. So that means if I want to do the move back to back and do 2 in a row, I'd have to go the other direction. Elbow, wrist, wrist, elbow, catch, and then back the other direction. And that totally is a viable thing, but you might be saying, I want it to go over and over in the same direction. Keep the momentum so you don't stop and then restart again. So to do that, there's a few different ways. One of the most basic ones, the first one I learned, but I don't know if it's the best, but is the first one I learned, I call it like a T-Rex claw. And what I'm gonna do is do wrist, elbow with the same hand that I catch it so that I'm ready to go again. And this T-Rex claw, like I'm giving a high five, I go down and then I face out. So it's a little T-Rex claw right there. And the staff is gonna drop into that hand. So it looks like this, wrist, elbow, T-Rex, catch. And then you're ready to just do either that half the move over and over, which is nice, or send it over here. T-Rex. T-Rex. All right. From there, there's another way you can never grab if you want to keep it true to true contact staff, never actually touching it with my grip. Then you just go back of the wrist, and you can start the move again from the back of your wrist. So as I'm doing these little wrist wraps, I can go all the way under, start it over. And I catch it back of the wrist. So I go left hand, right hand, and back. So I'm gonna still catch it with my opposite hand, just like if I'm going to catch it here, but I catch it with the back of my hand, pass it off to the hand I started with. Now I'm ready to pretzel all the way up and get that back going again. So here it is one more time. Start, back of the wrist, and again. Back of the wrist, and again. And now, all of a sudden, you can do this forever, and I'm never grabbing it with my hands. Super impressive, very fun, the conveyor belt. Okay, so there's a whole lot of variations to move away from those 3 catches you can do: opposite hand, T-Rex claw, or back of the wrists. Now we have to focus on passing it in the middle there. So right here, you said you could catch and catch, but you might have noticed a lot of those examples, I was using the back of my wrist the whole time. So I'm just coming back of the wrist in the center here. So same idea of this back of the wrist, I can start that and then back to the wrists. Or I can start here, back to the wrists. So that's a good place to pass off. Right there, just using the back of the wrist the whole time through. Some other variations of this is a 4-point conveyor belt, the most common one, elbow, wrist, wrist, elbow. There's also a 3-point conveyor that I think is almost superior because it looks really, really cool. Some people call it the prayer conveyor because you're putting your hands together in this prayer position. And so instead of going back of the wrist, I'm putting my hands together, so it's just doing one wrist wrap, one wrap over, and it looks a little smoother. I love it because it looks smooth, your hands are together, so it shows you're not using that grip, and it's just very pretty. So the way this works is, right here, as soon as I let go, I'm gonna put my hands together. So I let go of the staff to start the move, put my hands in this prayer position, and as it turns through, it just goes over both hands together. So hands together, back in. And you can see all I'm doing is pushing out to go over, coming back into the other side. So start it, hands together, back in. And then same as before, you can catch it in any of the variations I showed. So I could go back of the wrist, and prayer, whoop, in again. There you go. So that's a 3-point conveyor belt. There's also a 2-point conveyor belt that I actually rarely see people utilize, but it looks like this. And I consider this a genie conveyor belt because you're kind of putting this arms together in the your wish is my command genie style. So you go over the elbow, and then you can either twist your hips. That helps to, like said, one elbow to the other elbow. So elbow first, second elbow, catch. And I'm just leaving my hands together. So as soon as I let go of the staff, I'm just pulling my hands back and I'm layering one on top of the other into this nice V shape. So boom, boom, catch. This is also a good one to start out with because it doesn't even involve the wrist motion. If you're having trouble with this guy, a lot of people do, try this one first. Elbow, elbow. It's just a fun little variation. Cool. Okay, there's also that's a 2-point conveyor. There is a 1-point conveyor, which isn't really a conveyor at all. It just looks silly. Basically, you're just doing a wrap around one bicep, the other bicep, and catching. So give it a try if you want to look goofy, but I don't really find any usefulness in it. All right, so we got the first one, catch, catch, and back. We have the 3 ways to end, T-Rex claw again, or back of the wrist. We have prayer conveyor, or genie conveyor. And now you have a whole bunch of conveyor belts in your back pocket. Keep coming back, and the next video we have will be on halos and pivots and ways you can incorporate this conveyor belt into a halo roll. So that'll be in our next video.